So on today's episode, we are having a very uh should I say terrifying or what? But this testimony that we're about to review and comment on, it's disturbing. So if you are a sensitive viewer, that's a disclaimer. But here's the thing, right? I believe that Jesus Christ died for all of us for a reason. And one of the reasons is that we could avoid things like this, things that were being talked about on the testimony that I'm about to review right now. African spirituality is not an African thing. That's just a system that the devil has created so that you can embrace demon worship. I mean, that's the easiest way to accept generational curses. That's the easiest way to welcome demons into your home, marine spirits, familiar spirits, and whatever spirit into your home, right? But now I'm glad that God gave me this task to wake some of you up and to also offend some of you. Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Ket Ego, and this is Bible Literacy. And do not leave without subscribing, without liking, without sharing. Let's get into today's episode.
The level of your mercy is amazing, unending. Since I met you, Lord, all your loss I'm amending. Following your steps and your way, I'm defending.
I started noticing it's like, okay, I have done some things, yes, but why is my life not making sense? I feel like now I'm stuck, and now I'm starting to feel the pressure. Like I really want to do something, but something I feel like I'm stuck. I don't know what is going on. My mom was still alive at the time. Then she'd be like, just take 50 rands and go and consult where there's this woman around. You can go to her. She will tell you what is happening with your life, and then she will give you things you can bath, and then life goes on. This thing of going to sangomas, it started actually at home because my parents used to bring a lot of sangomas at home. It's something that actually most black people are used to doing, if I can say that. Some they're still doing it even now, right? So my dad would be just telling me, no, let's consult, let's speak to the ancestors. We put the beer and everything. He would visit even mountains and all of that.
The first thing I want you to notice is the fact that she comes from a background where they used to consult a lot. There is always a root in something. So if you notice spiritual problems in your life, there is a root, right? There is somewhere that somewhere, somehow, something occurred. Somebody planted something. Covenants were made somewhere for some demonic stuff to occur in your life. Somebody has to open a door. And this is the same way that generational curses operate in our lives. It's because of somebody in our bloodline, somebody in your bloodline, before you were born, long before you were born, generations ago, before you were even born, somebody planted something, and now that thing is a pattern in your family. Somebody opened a door to these spirits. So the first thing we have to look at before her testimony goes on, she grew up in a home where they've been consulting these things, and at some point that might have been the door that was used by these things.
I lost my sister. After some time, my mom passes on. After the following year, my dad passes on. I'm like, no, something is not making sense. Why are we losing people like this, in a family?
You can see the pattern Now her sister passes on, her mom passes on, her dad passes on. It's like a door for the spirit of death has been opened in her family, right? When I started this, I spoke about a root of something. Losing her sister, losing her mother, and then losing her dad. You can see that this is not a normal thing. Now, one thing about this pattern, it tells you that a covenant was made somewhere, somehow, knowingly or unknowingly. Somebody made a covenant with something within the family. And it is sad because most of the time we make these covenants in the name of being African, you know, in the name of being African, not knowing that we are opening a door to these things that are going to torment us and our children for years to come, for generations to come.
I started being sickly. I ended up in hospital. Mind you, I just had my daughter with an operation and they say we need to open her, but we're not sure what is this thing. If we open her, what are we going to find in there? Because when we look in the scan, it's something else. When we press, it's something else. And then a friend of mine called me. She's from home, Rustin. It's like, hey, my friend, I don't like how you are looking. I saw you on a wheelchair. What is going on? There's a woman that I know. She is someone who works, traditionally. And I'm like, okay, like right now, I'm about to give up. I don't know what to do. It's like, okay, I'm going to send you her numbers. Please communicate and make sure you go. I know she's the best. I went to the woman. My other sibling came, fetched me from the hospital, took me to that woman. I arrived there as weak as I was. She just looks in my eyes. You know why you are here? Yeah, I'm sick, ma. No. It's time. It's time for you to answer your call.
The enemy uses the same strategy since the beginning of time. He uses like one strategy since the beginning of time. When you go to the book of Matthew 4, starting from verse 2, it says that after fasting 40 days and 40 nights, he was hungry. And the tempter came and said, if you are a son of God, tell these stones to become bread. There are two things we have to notice there. The first one is where it says he was hungry. Sorry. The first one is where he says he was hungry. That's a void. Jesus was what? Jesus was hungry at that time. And then the second one is when he tells Jesus to tell the stones to become bread. Right? Now, hunger was the void. Turning the stones into bread was the solution. Now, here's the thing. The devil does not come to you when there is no void. Right? He has to come when there's hunger somewhere. He's looking for a void somewhere. So he offers you something to fill the void. In this situation, he tells Jesus that turn the stones into bread so that you can fill the what? The void. Not that Jesus could not. He could. Even in her situation, she was sick. She needed healing. Since she needed healing, mind you, doctors do not know what is really happening to her stomach. What is this thing in her stomach? We are clueless. We cannot operate her because of we do not know what's in her stomach. So what does the devil do? He capitalizes on that. There's a void. There is a need for healing. So through her friend, he says, what? I know a woman. I know a woman. So void is usually his gate.
She says, slaughter a goat. I bought a goat. I bought 2 liters of cold drink. I don't know, 24. As if I'm buying for a shop. I bought food, everything. Even tent. I was the one. And then she woke up in the following morning. She said, the ancestors say these things they don't want the blankets you bought. They are small. You must buy big blankets. I had to buy these huge blankets. I don't know if she wanted those expensive blankets, but I had to go and buy those big blankets and give her.
What
Because
about
apparently,
the
ancestors don't want those small blankets.
What did you take the small blankets?
I didn't even take them. She refused. She said I must add on those small blankets. It's not a joke. I left there with 0.00 plus debts.
The enemy takes more than he gives. The enemy takes more than he gives. He will take from you emotionally. He will take from you physically. He will take from you sexually. He will take from you spiritually. Mind you, she went there for healing, right? If I am here for healing, why is it that I'm now spending so much money? And I'm not even spending on what I came here for. I came here for healing, right? Why am I not spending on the medication? Why am I spending on these other things? So the enemy takes more than he gives.
When I got home, they took me inside my parents' room, main bedroom, and they said to me, my relative, my aunts and uncles, this is now your bedroom. You are the eldest in this yard. I'm the last born. Yeah, but you are the eldest now. I was surrounded. People ululating. Hey, the child is getting married today. Let's celebrate with her. These praises, clan praises, they did all of those things to me. They were dancing, but some were crying. I couldn't understand what was going on. Around the AMs, they dug a hole, a pit. They dug. They took everything. The intestines, everything that was used there, they gathered around with me, including the gobela. And they started spitting in that hole. They started spitting in that hole. And they said to me, speak what you want. I started speaking. They started spitting again. And they covered the hole.
In the AMs?
In the AMs.
How many were there?
There were me.
That's a ritual, though.
That was a ritual. Just said it's a graduation. To finalize, it finalizes the graduation of whatever that I was doing.
Based on what she's saying, it seems like a ritual was made on her behalf, right? It seems like what was supposed to be a journey where she was supposed to recover and get back to being 100% healthy turned into a ritual of some sort. It's like she was getting married to something. From dealing with a sickness to getting married to something, and the way she's saying it seems like this was a family thing. The family knew what was really happening, and it seems like it was within the bloodline. It seems like it was within the bloodline, and these people knew.
So I started asking myself, is it something that was done in my bloodline or what? Because now I started also encountering, my God, serpents, huge serpents. Some of them claim me as their wife. There's, oh my goodness, like it did not end there. To a point whereby I saw myself in the spirit realm, like as I was sleeping, I was going down the water. It had swallowed me. A huge snake had swallowed me. I fought. I fought. I fought with it, and I started praying, and it went up with me. It was so heavy. It went up with me. And then when it vomits me, I was covered with a slime. Like, I couldn't even see. I was trying to pull those things. Like, I was covered. I was on top of water. And there was this mermaid. Like, it came. It's like, we are not done. We're still going to come back.
One thing I've always said is that these so-called ancestors are not your late great grandmothers, have nothing to do with your family. These things have nothing to do with your culture. These things have nothing to do with your family. Now, the reason she's finding herself in the water, in her dreams and all that, is because of these things belong there. These things are marine spirits. So, the minute you have dreams of your grandmother while she's in the river, the minute you dream of yourself inside the water, the ocean somewhere, anything to do with dreaming about water and all that, those are just visitations from marine spirit. Those are just visitations from marine spirit. And you leaving your home, going to mountains and rivers at night, you are simply opening a door to marine spirit to come and torment you and your children and your children's children and your offspring for generations to come. So while we are trying to break generational curses in the name of Jesus, you, in the name of I'm an African, you are trying to bring them back home. These have nothing to do with your culture and your family. These things are demonic. And they are not there to open up your doors. There's a reason why when they come, they exhaust you financially. There's a reason why whenever you allow yourself to serve those things, you start having horrible dreams, sleeping with snakes and all that, is because of you've opened up that one door, which will torment you for years. Simply because, according to you, this is an African way to do things.
With the things that I was seeing, when I tell that, okay, why do I keep seeing this thing? She'd be like, that is your God. My God. Yes. Let's go to your God. Tomorrow we need to go and you must talk to your God. We're going to the river.
Meaning the snake.
The snake.
What kind of a snake is it?
Oh my God. It's a spiritual thing. I would only engage with it spiritually, even when I'm asleep. Like when I'm asleep, it will come. It will come. There was a certain point whereby I would feel it move in my body. Each time I go to bed, it comes. I feel the movement. You know how a snake moves.
Yes.
You feel it moving around.
Are you able to see it? Maybe describe. Is it black? Is it pink? Is it blue?
It's black in color. It's black. It looks more like I don't know if it's a mamba or what, but it's so black in color. And then sometimes when it appears, it appears with lime eyes. Lime eyes. It's huge. It's very huge. I can't even express how big that thing is. I experienced a lot with that thing because it demanded a lot. It demanded like isolation, if I can put it like that.
Okay.
I must not mix with people.
What about relationship?
A relationship, I must not even have a man. I can date you, let me tell you, within 2 months we are gone.
God works in separation. The enemy works in isolation. What do I mean by this? you will notice that the minute you start building a relationship with God, there are some people that will never stay. The minute you start building your relationship with God, some relationships end. Some people go away silently. Some people, conflict happens. And why is that? It's because of God is simply separating you from a crowd that hinders you to be in His presence. And then He moves you to a crowd that pushes you closer to Him. But the enemy works in isolation. First thing he will do, he will take you away from a Christian community. Secondly, he speaks the most when you are alone. So when you are lonely, isolated, there's so much void in your life. That's where the enemy works. So God does not isolate you. He separates you from the people that would hinder you from being in His presence, right? While the enemy isolates you completely. Make sure that there's a void in your life. This serpent was a spiritual husband. I once had a conversation with a friend who was going through initiation, right? And she told me something about her relationships, and then she was like, she said something like, I get bored when I have a boyfriend. I get bored too quick. The first thing that came to my head was spiritual husband. Because you as a human being, you need somebody you can build with. It's a human thing to crave human connection. But when these things come into your life, some are not just there to torment you only. Some are married to you. So the minute you find yourself struggling in relationships and all that, I think you should sit down and check what's really happening to you at some point. I'm not saying that you all have spiritual husbands, but I'm just saying that at some point you have to sit back and check yourself that okay, I don't know what's happening to me. Why do I get bored when I have a boyfriend? Why do I spend 2 days in a relationship? Because at some point I get turned off by things that do not make sense. So my conclusion to today's episode, this testimony was scary. Whatever it is that is called African spirituality, the truth is it is not African. So spirituality is what is a universal thing, right? It's a universal thing. Of which I'm not saying follow spirituality. I'm not saying follow spirituality. I'm saying you should ask relevant questions that I see ourselves accepting these things. But why is it that these things come with so much suffering? Why is it that these things open so many demonic portals in our lives? It seems as if embracing ancestral worship and trying to protect yourself through the dead is like jumping inside a pool because of you are avoiding that rain will make you wet. You did nothing. But my invite to you would be that Jesus is Lord. Come to Christ. Because that's the only place where we have peace, we have joy. Jesus is Lord. And every knee shall bow, including these things that are tormenting you. Yeah, that's it for today. And please do me a favor, subscribe, like, share, and right now we are on our way to 1,000 subscribers. So please do subscribe and continue sharing our videos, continue commenting, continue doing what you do best. I will do what I do best. I'll continue giving you content that is worth watching. Until the next one, God bless.